And we are back. All right. And so, pretty much, like I said, all we're going here, talking about chapter one, check out some of the basics of JavaScript. JavaScript is, like I said, it's very similar to Java, but it's also very different. And it's much easier than Java. Like I said, it's a lot of, I'll say complex stuff that you do in Java. That Java you don't have in JavaScript. Um, one thing I do want to point out is that with JavaScript, when you do there are no such things as data types. All right, everything that you do as your for your variable set as a variable, it automatically assumes it's a string. So if you want to tell it is if it's not a string, you have to tell JavaScript, yo, it's not a string, and it'll process it. It's not a string. You still have to put your semicolons at the end. You still have to put your strings in quotation marks, or quotation marks. But you also, because JavaScript does work with HTML, you have to put your JavaScript inside of your HTML file. All right. There's a couple, like I said, it's a couple of ways you can do it. They have what they call inline JavaScript, like they have with CSS, and they also have something what they called embedded JavaScript, which is very similar to the embedded CSS or style tag that they had in HTML. And you also have the external JavaScript file, which is basically you link the JavaScript file to the HTML file, and then it actually goes and gets the JavaScript file and do what it needs to do on the page. So, like I said, a lot of similarities that from definitely HTML that way. And like I said, a lot of similarities between Java and JavaScript, but it's not, like I said, it's not as complex as Java is. So, first thing I'm going to do is that you can actually do your JavaScript code in just about any text editor. In 226 or the HTML course, I used Notepad all the time. Now, because you guys passed the class, you're all grown up. Guess what? You don't have to use that anymore. But what I'm going to use, and when I actually go through these videos, I'm going to use Visual Studio. I like the way Visual Studio is set up. Oh, there it is. They also have something called. You guys still have access to Visual Studio. It is a very big file. I think it's over like 30 gigabytes or something like that. But you do have access to it. You do have free access to it. The same. To mention, I think hopefully you've heard about. You have the Microsoft Imagine or software, whatever. Well, one part of that software package is Visual Studio. So you'll be able to get that. If you don't know how to get your free software using the Microsoft software, let me know and I can send you the information. Send the link and stuff so you can actually sign up for it. But they do have something called Visual Code, a Visual Studio Code, and that is free, and it's very simple. Very simple programming editor, and like it works just as fine. Like I said, and it's free, so you don't have to worry about. And it's very it's very lean, so you don't have to worry about downloading the 30 and 40 gigabyte files. All right. So one thing I do want to show you. Right. So let's go ahead and start doing some stuff. For those of you who have Dreamweaver, you're more than welcome to use Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver pretty much does everything web related. So like I said, if you have you can use Dreamweaver. That's okay. Because right now in this class, I'm more worried about actually getting stuff to work. Because here you will crash something, and they don't tell you. Like I said, they don't tell you necessarily exactly what the error is or where it's located. You have to figure it out yourself. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead to New. I'll go to File, and I am going to go to HTML. All right. Yeah, it does have a JavaScript file in here, but that is just for if you want to do an external JavaScript file. Yeah, we're not doing that yet. We'll do that, I think, when we get to, I think maybe chapter 6 or 7, something like that. So I'm just going to do a regular HTML file right now. All right. And click OK. And I think I may have to do some zooming in. Yeah, hopefully, I think you guys should be able to see that, right? Well, okay, no. I'll take it back to 200. All right. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, the good thing about some of these code makers, I guess you can call them, they have the basic template already done for you. Yeah. So you remember we had to actually remember the basic website template. Well, here it is for you. It's done for you already, which is very nice. And also it gives you some other features like color coding. You can actually take that out because that's no longer needed. That was for the old. We no longer use that for HTML5. So if you are using Visual Studio and that comes up, you can take that out. All right. And so, like I said, everything's there. Now you got your head tag, meta tag, length, attribute, title, head, body, whatever. All right. So you have all that there. Okay. You all have all the essentials. All right. Now, for right now, like I said, you can do inline JavaScript, or you can do embedded JavaScript. Now, I like using embedded JavaScript. Right now, don't want to say it's a toss-up based right now in the industry, whether or not, because everyone's now on optimizing JavaScript, making sure it loads fast, so visitors, when they come to your website, the JavaScript in there doesn't slow your page from loading, slow it down. So some people like the old school way, like me. You can put it up in the top of the header, on the top of the head part. You actually put it in the head section, just like we did for the CSS when we did in 226. Or you can actually do it someplace in the body or actually after the body. And they said if you put it down the body, that at the bottom, it actually makes it run much faster. So it's different. There's two schools of thought on that. But like I said, I'm old school, and I like to have my embedded JavaScript actually inside the head tag. So first thing you want to do, all right, is that you want to do embed them against her. Embedded style sheet, not style sheet, JavaScript. Wow. You use the script tag, all right. It has just like it's an opening tag and a closing tag. See right there, all right. And so pretty much you put all your JavaScript in between the script tags, all right. So let's make our first little program. All right. So of course you have to do hello world, of course, Yeah, so in JavaScript, there is no such thing as variable types or data types. Like say what, what? So all that, that float, integer, whatever they had in Java, they don't have that in JavaScript. Every time you put something in, or you try to define something, it thinks of it as a string. So, and you have to say, wait a minute, it's not a string. Like, we're gonna have to figure this out. So you have to tell JavaScript, it's a number, not a string. All right. So, right here. So let's do something. So, for example, to start a variable, to declare a variable. All right. You just use the var keyword. That's it. You don't have to worry about doing like I said, the string or whatever. No. All you need to do is use the var tag or the keyword var. And after the var, this is where you'll actually come up with your name of your variable. So, let's say name, something simple. All right. And let's don't want to say name. Actually, yes, let's do that. Let's do name. Name. Let's do name, yeah. Alright. Now, to gather information from a user or to get information from an input from a user, you use the prompt keyword or prompt method. Alright. Just like I think in Java we have a methods or functions. I think Java calls them methods. JavaScript calls them functions. Same thing. um, but they basically have a function in JavaScript that allows you to ask the user for input, and then you can and it spits back out at you. All right, so let's say our name, and we can tell no. And let's say we want to have you ask the user for the information. All right, so we'll put in our first. You'll put in the word prompt, and because this is a method or function, it has to be in parentheses. All right, and even actually tells you like up here at the top. And in between the parentheses, this is where you'll put your text that you want the user or the question you want to ask, you want the user to answer. So, and because this is going to be a string for this one, we have to put in the quotation marks. All right. So if it's not quotation marks in there, it's going to push. It's going to put on an error like, wait a minute, you didn't. If this is a variable, you didn't declare this variable already. So let's call it sets a string. And let's see, what is your name? Yeah. What is your name? All right. And have to put your semicolon. Like I said, just like you have to put your semicolon. All right. So now we're going to ask the person what their what the name is. Now we can actually spit whatever the response back to the screen. And to do that, we use document.write. So you have, like I said, kind of similar to Java. You got your document.write. So you have, and this actually gets into the idea of the DOM, or actually a DOM, because a document is basically but the part of DOM is considered the object that is the screen. So it means that you're actually writing something to the screen. So you guys had print line, we have write. Okay. And so document.write, of course, this is write. It's also a function, a method. And now we can have to tell it, okay, what you want it to write. And let's say, all right, let's say. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, so I got my thing in there, and I want to put I'm going to put the person's or the variable in there. So I have to put plus signs. Should be very similar to Java, right? Something like that. Hi blank. Tell everyone hello world. Oh, and I was getting ready to do double quotes. And if you're going to use single quotes inside of double quotes, or you want to use quotes inside of quotes, this inside quotes, quotation marks have to be the single quotes. They can't, because it'll get confuse it. So there, I want to do. I say, tell everyone hello world. So there you go. All right. So I have my done. So I'll probably put a space here so we can actually add put space in between. And so here, what this simple program is going to do is it's going to prompt the person for their name, and it's going to spit out on the screen, hi, so and so, tell everyone hello world. Something really simple. All right. So let's go ahead and save this, And because you are using JavaScript, and however, because HTML is in this file, you have to save the file as an HTML file. All right, even though we're using JavaScript. All right. So I'm going to save this as, I think I have a folder already set up, I believe. Yeah, one second. Yeah, to make a folder for this semester. And I'll say chapter 1. Chapter 1.html. Yeah, there you go. And like I said, because the reason why we're calling it HTML is because we actually have our file extension HTML. Because as you can see here, there is HTML inside of the file. All right. Now we can. Well, let me attach it. Probably not. But let me attach a. See, let me attach and see if it let me do it. It's because. Okay. Ooh, I think you diagnosed. I don't need all that. Thank you. All right. So see if it. Okay. It just didn't stack. It already stopped debugging. I don't want to debug. All right, fine. I have to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so I'm going to go inside of my window, back to my folder. There it is. All right, yeah, and I can now open up my chapter 1. I guess you can double click on it, but I'm going to go ahead and just tell it to open with. There you go. So like I said, it asks the person for their name. So I'm gonna type in my name, and then voila. Yeah. So hello Tiffany, tell everyone hello world. All right. And you can use HTML inside JavaScript. So if you wanted to, like for example, use the H1 tag and make it bigger, make it smaller, or make it bold, you can do that. You just have to tell the computer or tell the web page to actually write as it's writing the statement or the information or the string. Make sure you actually tell it that you want to put in the actual HTML tags right behind it or right over around it, and it'll pick it up. So let's actually try something like, let's do that right here. So we have, right here, so because we're going to ask, make it bold, or let's make it H, let's make it H1, make it H1 or H3 tag, right. Inside of it. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So now I have it. I told it that I have the tags in there. Now I told it like, hey, this is what, and it may. See, I'm thinking we may have I may have a quotation mark problem. We'll see, but I think around here may have a quotation mark problem. All right. So here we have our. So hopefully it'll be bold and be a little bit bigger when we do this. So save it. You're going to, I'm gonna refresh. All right. Now I'm going to tell it. Let's say type in my name. Sure. There you go. And that's as much now. It's much bigger. A little bit later, in a couple of chapters, it actually shows you how you can actually use a loop to actually help generate. And a loop, you can actually generate a table while it's actually looping. It's a really cool effect. So it acts like I said, it does all the work for you, basically. Um, I'm trying to see. So I want to. So let's say we're going to comment something out. All right. To comment something out, you just two tags or two slashes. All right. Forward slashes. All right. And it'll comment it out. All right. Now, if you want to do a block, I can remember. Yeah. And you'll just, it's actually the same way. Yeah. You'll yeah, it's the same way you would actually do a block comment in CSS. You can do the same thing in JavaScript. All right, so since it's green, I now know it's a comment. So I'm actually gonna leave that up there, and let's actually go to something a little more. I want to be to. I want to do some math now. I'm gonna do some math right now. All right. All right. So. Yeah, because we didn't there. Variable. Yeah, so say num1, right? And then say that's equal 3. You know. What do you want? There it is. There. Oh, and I lied. It's actually JavaScript actually picks up just strings and numbers. That's all it does. Yeah. Because right now I'm counting to put the number right now, and it will pick it up because it doesn't have any quotation marks around it. It will pick it up as a regular number. Alright, so okay, there you go. Alright, so now I can do my document.write, and I can tell it to single quotes. Wait a minute. No, I don't. I don't do that quite yet. Don't do that yet. Actually, let's do the variables first. So do num1 plus num2 and next, let's do a variable for that. Variable, and let's call it total. There you go. And that's a variable. We had total, and then that total is going to actually add up those two numbers. There you go. Yeah. And to spit it out, so to be you're able to see it on the screen, you do a document.write. Yeah, I'm just a little bit ahead of myself. And you just type in total. There you go. Alright. So now, when I go to, I'm going to say save, and when I save it and load it into the web browser, I should now be able to see, there you go, the calculation. There you go. Goes at 300. Yeah, there you see the calculation. So if you want to make it a little more fancy, we can say, you can even tell the person to enter in the number. So just like we did up here, you know. So we gave the person gave it the name, and they typed it in, and to add when doing math and prompting the person to do something, it gets I won't say a little complicated, because you actually have to tell the person, like I said, because it puts it in as a string. and then for you to do the math, you have to actually convert it to a number. And to do that, you guys should remember something like parse inc from Java. You do the same thing in JavaScript. Yeah, and it'll do the same thing. All right. So, like I said, we want to be a little fancy. We actually type in, put a string in there, connected, say. There you go. I think it's going to take another plus. Yeah, there you go. Actually, let me. Yeah, that's actually that was on. Yeah. So what do you want? There it is. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah. So here, it's like I said, it's going to type. Pretty much is going to tell it now. The total of your bill is, and it should be 8. I have the dollar sign on there. It should be say $8. All right. So let's try it out. There you go. Yeah. Total of your bill is $8. All right. Now let me go. Yeah. So we did. Yeah. Yeah. Here, and it's actually in your book too. You will see. It tells it. It gives it the attribute of type. You can type in there, and it tells it, okay, it's text in the JavaScript text. You can do that, and it will still pick it up. But nowadays, the HTML, they'll pick it up anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. So you can leave it in there, or you don't have to put it in there. Yeah, done that right. And it's talking about control, making a loop. We'll actually go into doing loops. Do you want to do a loop now? I think we go into loops. I think maybe chapter 3 or 4. I think. Yeah. There you go. You should store it as numbered. There it is. Boom, right there. Numeric data. Yes, it's stored as a number. However, when you put in a prompt box, yeah, you have to say as text. So it means you have to actually convert it to the number in order for it to be counted as a JavaScript. We don't care. Yeah, get some of that float and that integer crap. No, we don't have that in here. All right. Yeah, so strings. Yeah, we did play with a little bit of strings just now. All right, so you can so the strings, type in any words you want. Yeah, talking about variable name, like so you can be a constant. So you don't have. I think in Java you have constant variable. You have local. You have local variable. You have a bunch of other types of variables. You don't have that in JavaScript. Now, as you can tell, it's pretty much watered down. There you go. So yeah, there's talking about the keyword of var that we played with already. Talking about the 23. Alright, and yeah, here are the operators that we have. Should be very similar, or actually the same as Java. Got your plus sign, minus, star, or the asterisk. So yeah, so all of these for the math or for your arithmetic, you have for those. So like I said, it should be the same for Java. Concatenation, yeah, and we played a little bit with that actually just now. We actually concatenated some stuff. But yeah, to concatenate, you basically just with 2 strings, you basically put a plus sign in between them, and it'll problem solving. Yeah, everyone knows about pseudocode and flowcharts. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. So you still today, all right. If you some browsers, if it's something that they don't have a browser, if they don't have a browser that doesn't read JavaScript, they got a problem. But back in the day, they used to put in the no script tag So if the pixel, so if the page loads and it detects that the browser does not support JavaScript, it'll spit out the words, "Sorry, your browser doesn't support JavaScript." But like I said, it's very rare for that. You can still put it in there, but it's very rare to actually find a browser now that does not support JavaScript. Up until one point, JavaScript was actually was the number one language in the world. So yeah, it was there. It was for a while actually. Yeah, it was. What are they doing? Okay, no, they didn't. Okay, they're doing it inside. Okay, I was getting a little excited. I thought they were starting to do the functions already. All right. So here I can this you can see here they're doing an inline JavaScript. And I can see they have the input tags. Basically, they're going to have the person click on the button, and it's going to execute something when they click on the button. All right. So let's say, and you don't have, because this is not going to generate anything or not going to send anything to a server. We do not have to use the form tag. All right. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna block that off. You're more than welcome to. Um, pretty much just delete stuff. However, sometimes I get a little paranoid, and I like to just comment stuff out and just work from the same from the same sheet or document. All right. So now here, right there, we are using some HTML. We're going to do inline. We actually have to go inside the body. Excuse me. So here, my input tag. I'm gonna put my type, and of course we're gonna tell it's a button, and we can put an ID on it. Equals. I'm trying to see. Yeah. Actually, let's do hello. Let's do hello. Yeah, I don't want to make it too long. All right. And we want to do on click. All right. And when you do on click, so it gives you the double quotes. Inside the double quotes, you have to actually put in parentheses. And here you'll type in, you type in the alert. Actually, I'm doing it reverse actually. Here, when it says on click, you're going to actually tell it to do an alert. Actually, that's right. That was right. What am I doing? You're going to tell it to do an alert. And with the alert, because the alert is a method in JavaScript, this is where you're going to put in the text that comes on that alert box when it pops up. Yeah, so you can also have a alert pop up when the page actually loads, but usually we can actually have it triggered by a button. Yeah, so say alert and yeah, we say hello world. Yeah. How come it's not picking up? What are you doing? Well, you're not picking up my hello. Ooh. Wait a minute. I think I have it backwards. Okay. Yeah, I had to go check. I had to go and check because I'm like, what? All right. I don't know what this thing is doing. All right. Yeah, it's user error. I'm like, yes, I know it's user error. Leave it alone. Did I spell alert wrong? Wrong. And you ask the person to say hello world or no. Why is that thing still picking it up? It has. It should be, because it's a string. What are you doing to me? I'm an idiot. Single quotes. There you go. Duh. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, how come? Oh, and I have to close it out. Yeah, I don't need that. Actually, I can if I want to. If I want to, I can actually put in. I can put in a semicolon because I am doing JavaScript right here. But yeah, for some reason why it wasn't picking up, because like as I mentioned before, if you're going to do use quotes inside of double quotes, you have to use single quotes. Duh. All right. So now, like I said, I'm still inside of my input. So now I can pretty much I can close out my input tag. So I can actually do my value and say, click this button. Yeah, click this button for an important message. You know what? This is what time is it? It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. There you go. That is not even close. Jesus. Think about. Oh, let me go ahead and actually put on my wrap text. And I think it's the same thing. I think it's with Eclipse. It doesn't come with. It doesn't. Yeah, for some reason, by default, it doesn't do wrap text. So you want to download word wrap. There you go. There it is. There you go. Wow. Yeah, there you go. So now I can close it out. All right. So it says yeah. So now when I load it, it says type in, yeah, say when I click on it, says click this button for an important message. They click on it and then it pops up hello world. Alright, so there you go. So you should get rid of you. There it is. Ooh. Yeah, for an important message, like I said, click on it and like I said, it pops up hello world. Alright. So anytime you want a box to pop up like a box the pop up. I think it used to be a message box. I think in JavaScript in Java, I think they call it message box. So, but if you want an alert box or a message box to pop up in JavaScript, you have to use the alert function and inside the alert function you'll put in what you want the alert to say. Right. Trying to make sure I cover everything. That's why I'm going back and forth between my unload. There you go. Ooh, functions. Alright. Now this is what I'm talking about. Alright. So going back up. Alright, so I am going to do my comment this out. So do I and then slash. All right. So now I'm gonna do a function. All right. So in Java, like I said, in Java they're called methods. All right. So to do a function, all right, and it's basically a block of code, and you can allow to actually execute in different parts of your code, whether it be on the in the JavaScript or inside of the HTML. All right. So to start off a function, you just use the keyword function, right? And you're gonna type in the name of your function. And JavaScript does use camel case. So if you want to use camel case, you're more than welcome to. What shall I call it? Wow. I'm telling you, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. Right, there you go. So you have the name of your keyword function, the name of the function with the parentheses around right after it, and then you have your curly braces. All right. So this range should look familiar, right? Right. So here I can inside of my curly braces I can now put in what I wanted to say. All right. So because what's going to happen is that we're going to do something in the function, and we're going to put the function over here or inside on the body tag as an attribute, and it's going to load, or it's going to pop up the box as soon as it loads, or execute the function as soon as it loads. All right, trying to see what we can do. Because it's going to come on. Load function. There you go. Yeah, something simple. All right. What are you doing? Yeah, it is a local arrow. What are you doing? Let's pick it up. Now let me do that. Okay, what did I do now? Yeah, it's not supposed to be a collage with there. Oh, I haven't done it yet. I haven't used it. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, I haven't used it yet. I'm like, what? Okay. I'm like, what? Okay. That's actually new. I've never seen that before. I probably have and just ignored it. But like I said, I've never, yeah. Yeah, I used to use Visual Studio a lot. But yeah, that's different. It's basically it's giving me that different color because it's saying that I did something declaring it, but I haven't used it yet. And yeah, I know I haven't used it yet. I'm about to use it. All right. And I can actually do an alert. Yeah. And I see a message. That should leave me alone. There it is. Let's see. I know I made. There it is. Okay, message. All right. Now, so like I said, so when the page loads, it's going to load this message as an alert. So in order for me to actually load it, when the page loads, I have to come inside the body tag and use the attribute onload. Yeah, onload. And right here on onload, in between the double quotes, I'm going to put in the name of my function. Right. Oops. There you go, first function. And put in my quotation. Yeah, put in my parentheses. Right. Okay, so now I'm like, hopefully this works. Yeah. Right, so let's go just save this. Oh, let me close you out the way. There you go. I'm gonna reload you. There it is. And it pops up. Yeah. So here I reloaded it. Now when I reloaded it, it said this message was loaded with the onload function. Alright. Yes, yeah, and the onload function, use it when you want to or you need to, but like I said, because it can get a little annoying, you don't want to use it too often. Trying to think of anything else we use as a function. Look, that's, yeah, I think I had one. Let's see, how much time I've been doing this, what time? Okay, what's, okay. Let me check, yeah, check my download objects. Yeah, I'm just talking about methods, yeah. Also, you also called functions, yeah. Yeah, so he was talking about, yeah, talking about the DOM. So the window means the actual browser window. And yeah, document, that's actually the document or the HTML file you're actually viewing. And then you have all of the child elements that's actually inside the document. So you have the anchor tags or the hyperlinks, forms, images, and actually see on the forms you have more child. You more have other methods they can be used inside of a form. Yeah. So that's where they get the document right from, because you're actually writing from the writing to the document. Yeah, it's dot notation. As you can see, yeah, we use dot notation. Yeah, because if we do use one of the objects, one of the DOM objects, yeah, we do have to add put the dot in. It have to put a dot. Ah, get element by ID. Yes. All right. So this is actually kind of cool. All right. So this allows you to um, take a particular particular code, JavaScript code, and assign it to a HTML element that's in HTML. All right, so yeah, so for example, I can actually have an element on my it's strip tag, and it says function click click on have an alert box, and it says type on this right here, but it says but get element by ID. Down here in this HTML part, I have I may have a button or may have a word with the ID of like click or something. When I tell it up here, I put the word click in here. It's when the person clicks down there, it actually put whatever JavaScript the HTML that was on there. It actually picks it up from the JavaScript method. Yeah, so like I said, it's actually kind of cool. And say inner ID should be, yeah, there you go, inner ID. There you go. Yeah. So the inner ID is another property that actually returns the actual HTML element. All right. Yeah. So looking at this file here, so they have their function. It's at the variable dog, and down here it says they want to get by ID. They want to get the puppy ID. down here at the bottom you have the puppy ID. All right, so so it has this on the right. Say this dog is a terrier. This, so and it says right here, it says dog.enter HTML, meaning that this variable right here is actually going to take the HTML of this puppy right here, of this tag right here. So when this person is right now, because it says assigns on click value to the method or function, it's going to execute that function. And so when the person clicks on puppy, it's going to do, or poodle, it's going to change it to this dog is not a terrier. So yeah, so like I said, it's actually pretty cool, and it's very let me do it. Put this in here real quick. You guys know I don't like typing stuff in, but yeah, just to give you like an idea. There it is. Yeah, it's probably gonna get things on it too. Well, fine. I might have to type in this in. Alright, so I'm going side by side. Alright. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to comment this out. Yeah. There we go. Now, function. There you go. There it is. Oh, and as you also see we have right line too, like just like we have print line in Java. We also have right line, and it does the exact same thing as it would in Java. It's not right. It says get element by ID. That's right. Okay, so yeah, they put a break in there. All right. So break that line up in there. All right. Should be another document dot right here. Another document dot right. And here, yeah, it gets that. So it calls that variable dog. There you go. And it calls the variable dog. And but as it says enter HTML. This is where it's actually going to get that HTML that's down there at the bottom. Oops. Yeah, I just looked over here. How come y'all didn't tell me y'all can see half the screen? Because this big thing is in the way. There you go. Now I can see some stuff. Alright. Yeah, so I'm typing it in. So like I said, it's gonna come down here, and this is where it's gonna get. Yeah, and you close out. Yeah, one function I'm not using. Yeah, I can close you out. Get you out of you. Yeah, it's from that old function. There you go. Now I can come down here, take off the unload. And inside the body, I'm going to put in my H1. My ID of puppy. Equals. There you go. Yeah. So get my value. Go, and now I can say, yeah, poodle. Alright, so yeah, so going back, yeah, so like I said, you can definitely try this, and I think they even have it. I think in the student data files, I think it even has the actual code actually in there. That's where I should have went. All right, so typing this stuff up. All right, so like I said, I have my function variable dog. I have to get element by ID using the puppy ID, and then I have writing when it's on the writing. It's going to get ID. It's going to actually write out. It's not a Terry. It's a, and then here it's going to use the variable dog to get the HTML of this right here. So right here it's going to be, so right here is H1. That dog is going to be H1 too. All right. So let me save it. Try it out. So how's the thing blank? There it is. All right. So the H1 tag. All right. So should be, so even though I don't have my mouse is actually or cursor is not the arrow. I can actually still click on it. There you go. Yeah, that's a poodle wrong. Yeah, and so yeah, your dog is not a terrier; it's a poodle. And like I said, it actually took the HTML of that H1 tag. Yeah, so like I said, it's kind of a cool thing, Yeah. So. Open and close. Yeah. So, so basically, you're using for open and close. It's for Windows. It's for the actual Windows object. So you have the window of the browser, and here, if you want to have the window open, you can say use the method of just to open, and it'll open up, the window. And here it even tells you can tell it what size you want to open it as, or we want to write and do it. You can also close it that way too. You can close. Sorry, you can actually use the close function or method to do that as well. Yeah, you talk about. Yeah. So here it is. Yeah. So it's talking about yes. Uh, built-in functions. Like I said, yeah, we talked about some of these, and like I said, we have tons of these built-in functions or methods, whatever you want to call them, inside of JavaScript. So you don't have to worry about actually making stuff up. You can actually just use one of the built-in functions, and it'll do it for you. I'm trying to see, make sure parameters. Ooh, are they talking about parameters already? I'm actually looking through. Yeah, we did an event already. We did an event, yeah. So basically, yeah, an event is basically in order for the JavaScript to execute, having the user do something. All right. So the event would be the person for this. The event would be on click. So basically, actually clicking that button. That'll be the event, and it's gonna prompt or pop open, or it's gonna prompt for them to enter their name. All right. All right. Now let me come back here because I think I'm looking now. I think it's about a little bit over an hour. Let's try to wrap this up. There you go. So parameters. So just like we have in Java, you know, so here you have a function, and it's going to have the parameter of purchase amount, tax rate, and it's going to whatever the tax rate is, because it should be down here. Oops. Should be down here. It should calculate total. Should be down here. Yeah. So calculate total. Where's calculate? Make sure. Don't click calculate total. So that's functions good. Yes, function good. That there. The second one do the total. Calculate total. There it is. I'm like, what? Okay. Yeah, so here, yeah, so exactly, it's passing it through. Yeah, I'm like, calculate total. There it is at the top. Yeah, so it's basically passing through. So you having the multiplication, the addition or the math done inside the function, and then it has the parameters, and it's passing down those parameters to the when the actual function is actually being called down here at the bottom. So, like I said, it's very similar to Java, like doing parameters in Java. All right. Ooh. Okay, so that's actually it for chapter 1. You have to know, as you can see, it was a lot of material, but a lot of material you actually already know, because it comes from, because it comes from, because it gives you, it comes from, I won't say it comes from Java, but actually has some type of Java feel to it. So hopefully this will get you guys ready for your homework. So it's due on Sunday, and we'll get you guys due on Sunday. I'm recording this on Wednesday afternoon, and I did talk to our detour person, and they said she did open up the course already. So you guys probably are viewing this probably on Thursday or anyway. But yeah, so the course is open. You can go in there, dig right on in. And like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to actually come in, or have someone come in, or come in our office. And if you're having trouble with something, definitely help you look and see what the problem is. Yeah, I have no problem at all. So like I say, so if you're having issues, like, don't suffer in silence, as you say. So if you need me, I'm here. But other than that, I'll see you guys soon. The next video should probably be our first live session. I will have the information for it under announcements in our details course. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, but I will see you guys later. Okay.